beef vegetable stew. Okay, how should we do this? So, I had another migraine, guys. That after my last video, I just had a migraine, and I kept saying, "Oh, it's the first day after my migraine. I need to rest. I need to rest." But I just, I kept doing things. I had to get groceries, things like that, and while I was having another migraine, I kept thinking about how I pushed it a little too hard, even though, it really was such a gentle day for a person without any of the struggles that I struggle with. But for me, in the context, it was too much. My nervous system needed to calm down, and it's just something I don't think people think about when they think about autism and hypersensitivity, or when they think about PTSD, maybe more so when they think about PTSD, but your nervous system is like a wire with no sheath. And so it can catch fire, it can react to things, little things much more dramatically. Anyway, and so, but I was thinking while I was having a migraine yesterday that I only pushed it because I want to live. I get excited when I feel good. And I'm like, okay, finally I can do things. Because you guys see how many days it takes for me to deal with this kind of stuff. And like this week, I've spent, this is what I've been doing all week, is having migraines and healing from them. It's Thursday, and anyway, the reason why I'm telling you this is, yes, my migraine yesterday was uncharacteristic of what they have been. It was on the other side of my head. It was in my right side, and it was so painful. I haven't had a migraine this painful for a really long time. Like, it was so painful that when I did vomit, this is not going to be gross, but it was purely because the pain was so great that it was causing me to gag. Like, I knew it was beyond the nausea, and anyway, I won't go into detail, that it was the kind of throw up that I hate, and I just kept like hearing in my head, like, why won't you say it? Why won't you say, because I've said to the universe, I don't want to live like this anymore. And that's what I would say. I won't live like this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And I just kept thinking, why won't you say, I don't want to live anymore? Why won't you say, I just want to die? Why won't you say it? And I thought in my head, because I don't know if it could still get better. Right? It can still get better. Things do progress. Things do change. And I'm facing the right direction for things to get better. Anyway, and then I thought, if I were older, then, and I was told, this is the way you're going to be, this is it, this is permanent, then I might feel differently. And then I pictured myself, for some reason, I pictured myself as this really old man talking to like a younger relative or something, and saying like, I'm suffering, I suffer, let me go, this isn't a way to live. I've lived a very long life, and I'm ready to go now. If this is going to be my new reality, it's fine. Let me die. I don't want to live in suffering. And I was saying this, but it was beautiful. It was meant from a beautiful place. I was trying to comfort this person who couldn't let go of me. I'm not going to cry in this next scenario in my head as I'm having a migraine. And then just like that, I had an epiphany that like, I forgave myself, because I'm not going to cry. because during one of my previous migraines, I remember just breaking down into tears, thinking, and then like talking to Annie because she's there about how I felt like I killed Lady, my other dog, because I had her. I put her down because she was suffering from pyometra, and it was the open kind, which means that it's going to take a really long time for her to get septic. And she was just, I always just maintained that it's a person's own choice. We all live with suffering, and it's a person's own choice to decide what is too much. And I know everyone thought that I kept her around for way too long, but it's not their choice. It's not their say. It was her say. And I just couldn't help, even though I knew that everyone was advising me it's time to let her go. I knew that it would come naturally in its time, and I would know when it was time, and she would know, and she would let me know. But I still felt like I killed her. and and I hated that, and I just kept carrying that around with me. Ever since she passed on at the end of June, and I just had this hatred that the universe put me in that position, where I would have to kill somebody I loved, or make that choice. And anyway, but when I realized this in my head, that I was finally experiencing so much pain, that as if I were an older person, that it would be okay to let me go. But I don't know. It somehow just clicked. It just clicked in an instant that it was time to let Lady go, and it was a gift to her life, and then, putting her to bed, so to speak, and in that moment, like that moment when I was having the migraine, and I had this, like, I was working through this, whatever it was, in my head, I stopped, and I felt a softness, like where my migraine was on this side. It immediately became soft. Immediately, I don't know how to describe it. It was like it evaporated softly, and what had once felt like a pain that was like knifing me was just gone. And I felt like I woke up for a second, like I just realized it all at once, like all of this. I had not put her down too early, that it was okay, and that it was okay that I didn't let her die completely on her own. It would have been a very, very long, slow, painful death, and I don't want to go into it, but that it was time, and it was okay, and I was able to have peace about that, and I was no longer angry with the universe about that. And what I had been dealing with, like I had not been able to settle during this migraine. I had not been able to get calm. I was just like constantly dealing with it all day. Like I woke up at like 5 in the morning, and it was like almost 7 at this point. And anyway, as soon as this happened, 30 minutes later, I was up, and I took Anna around the building for a short walk, and then I was able to sleep when I got back. I was able to eat a little bit. My nausea was gone immediately, and I was able to sleep until the next. I woke up a few times to eat because I hadn't been eating. Obviously, I was in pain and stuff, and so I woke up a few times to eat. And it's thunder, if you can hear it. But it was just a crazy circumstance, and I just thought about how a video I made a long time ago called the migraine and the healing connection. And I know there's a book out there called The Body Keeps the Score. Everyone keeps telling me, recommending it to me, but I mean, I totally get it. And you might not have migraines, and it's not like I wanted to have a migraine to teach me this, but for some reason, this was the pathway that my body stored a lot of my tension in, and it manifested in this way. And when I somehow was able to let go and resolve that, it resolved, and I didn't intend for any of that to happen. But I don't know, these things, this is the kind of stuff, I think this is listening to yourself and trusting yourself. It's just little ways like that I've been healing. This is what I mean. This is what I mean when I'm trying to say, like, what I've been doing, working on myself and healing myself, you know, from so much righteous rage, and it was crazy how it happened. My migraine was suddenly gone. Anyway, so today I've just been taking it slow. It's about 4 in the afternoon. I'm making some beef stew and cleaning up the kitchen, doing my thing, and it just feels really good. Like I hadn't been the same since Lady died. I really hadn't. I really had just like a harsh, angry darkness just sitting like on my shoulder. Like I was so like pets shouldn't die. you know. Anyway, it's supposed to be a good message. um, but so we're all chill here, and we're just picking up again, and moving forward. I'm hoping that my migraines will cease to a significant degree after this, because they had been getting better and better, and we'll see. Good luck to all of you guys, and thank you for watching this episode of Neurodiversity Living. All right, bye.